In last week's video, I talked about stress and how it affects our American pronunciation. If you haven't seen that video, go ahead and take a look at it because it'll make this video a lot easier to understand. In that video, the word I used to describe stress was banana, and I mentioned how the first and the third syllables, though written with A's, are not pronounced A as in apple, but as in umbrella. But wait, why? If they're written as A's, why would we pronounce them as U's? Well, stay tuned because this reduction of the vowel to an sound is called a schwa, and that's what we're going to talk about today. Thanks for coming back to my channel. My name is Lillian, and I'm so glad you found me. I work as an accent coach for non-native speakers of English, but I also create videos like these in order to help you improve your pronunciation of American English. So if you like this video, please don't be afraid to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. The schwa sound is the most common vowel sound in spoken American English. This might shock you considering the fact that the 5 vowels we learn in school don't typically include this interesting little word. Perhaps this is because the schwa is not a vowel in itself, but rather a reduction of a vowel. This is also why it does not have an English letter associated with it. Instead, the schwa is written phonetically as an upside-down E, like this. Every vowel that gets reduced or spoken with less clarity turns into a schwa, or an sound. Considering the fact that most multisyllabic words in English contain one or more unstressed syllables, this is why the schwa comes up so often. In fact, the word schwa originates from a Hebrew word meaning having a neutral vowel quality. All this being said, it's a pretty important thing to know if you're looking to improve the rhythm of your pronunciation. The best way to practice the schwa sound by itself is to completely relax your facial muscles. Let your tongue rest inside your mouth with the tip of it touching the back side of your bottom teeth. With your jaw slightly dropped, go ahead and activate your vocal cords to make an sound. This is the most basic pronunciation of schwa. Because the schwa sound is a reduction of so many different written vowels, sometimes it can vary a tiny bit in pronunciation. For example, in the word before, it sounds a little bit closer to a short I. Before. But in the word banana, schwa sounds a little bit closer to a short U sound. Banana. As you start to notice the schwa in everyday speech, try to pick up on that difference and realize that it's not one perfect vowel sound, but rather a reduction of all those vowel sounds. So that's why it varies a tiny bit. If you watched my video on what stress is, then you'll already know that schwas appear most often in unstressed syllables. Just to recap, unstressed syllables are the parts of a word that do not get emphasized. Whereas stressed syllables get spoken with more clarity at a higher volume, unstressed syllables get reduced, shrunk to a smaller size, sometimes disappearing completely in order to blend into the background of speech. Hence, the vowels that get reduced get turned into schwa, the relaxed sound that you say quickly under your breath. See again in the word banana. Whereas the stressed syllable na gets pronounced with a true short A as in apple, the unstressed syllables get reduced into that schwa, banana. It's important to note that the schwa also appears as an R-controlled vowel, that is, where an R turns into a vowel sound. This SCHWA+R is written phonetically like this, and is the common sound that you hear in many, many different words, such as first, work, learn, and hurt. You can learn more about the SCHWA+R and check out some exercises in my video here. Now that you know what the schwa sound is and where to find it, let's get practicing. We'll start with some words. Be mindful of your rhythm as you're doing this. Remember that the stressed syllables get pronounced louder and longer, whereas the unstressed syllables get reduced and said quicker. The, banana, celebrate, below, behind, before, connection, continue, refer, refer. Common, common. Reflection, reflection. Confuse, confuse. Because there are so many exceptions in English pronunciation, it's really important that you pay close attention to what you hear. Take the time to listen how a word sounds instead of how it's written. Let me repeat that. Listen to how a word sounds instead of how it's written. Now that we've gone over some schwa sounds and words, see if you can find and pronounce the schwa sounds in these sentences. Just a heads up, there are at least 5 schwa sounds per sentence. It's not the most common vowel sound for nothing. I'll pronounce each sentence twice. The first time at a normal pace, and the second time a little slower so that you can try to hear those reductions. There's nothing like having a Monday off at work. There's nothing like having a Monday off at work. I'd like to talk to you before you leave tomorrow. I'd like to talk to you before you leave tomorrow. Would you consider taking some vacation time? Would you consider taking some vacation time? The idea is that you get some much-deserved relief. The idea is that you get some much-deserved relief. The economy isn't doing the best at the moment. The economy isn't doing the best at the moment. On a last note, I want to emphasize that because these schwa sounds are reductions, it's not super vital that you find and pronounce every single one correctly. So if you say because instead of because, it's not very likely that you'll be misunderstood because you're really just giving those syllables a little extra emphasis. Remember that the goal is not to eradicate an accent or do anything perfectly. Rather, the goal is to improve your overall rhythm in order that you can communicate as clearly and effectively as possible. Thanks again for watching this video, and I really hope that you found it helpful. If you liked it, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up and subscribe to my channel for more videos like this one. Please also share in the comments below if you have questions or other topic suggestions. As always, best wishes and good luck practicing your American accent.